Let's all remember, no matter what happens on any given day, to be respectful of one another. And we're going to go talk to Pastor Poloski here in a moment and hear from him about how things are going to go today. Here we are at Pastor Poloski's, feeding the hungry. As you can tell, lots of people in support to say drive by. And the one question that I have today for Mayor Menchie is, I want to know what part of this is actually a criminal offense. I want to know whether or not it's the actual feeding the hungry. So is eating now a criminal offense? Or is it the fact that it's the homeless that he's feeding? So which is it, Mayor Nenshi? And why is it that this man for 21 years can come down here and feed the homeless on every Sunday and it's never been an issue? And now all of a sudden, when we talk about the most vulnerable, when we talk about those in need, these are the people that are most vulnerable. These are the people that are in need. So in times of crisis, people need to come together. And, we just had the privilege of speaking to some police officers here. They're very supportive of what's going on. They're very frustrated. When I asked them what they thought of all of this, their biggest response was frustration. And they're frustrated because they're getting mixed orders. They're here every day that we do these protests. And they hear the other side of this. They're people like you and I. They have families, they have friends. Many of them don't agree with what's happening. And yet, they receive one order or direction one day and then another. So, they were wonderful to speak to. And if you don't think that our law enforcement officers are in support of these types of things, think again. Let's all remember, no matter what happens on any given day, to be respectful of one another. And we're going to go talk to Pastor Poloski here in a moment and hear from him about how things are going to go today. Yesterday, and I found out about your situation here again today, and we came back down to show our support. How many people do you typically feed on a Sunday?
Hundreds of people. We feed thousands of people every week, not just in this place, but we have multiple locations. We feed single moms, families that are hurting, lost jobs, kids. We feed thousands of people a week. I just want to point something out to you. The law says that you cannot gather 10 or more people, right? But just behind me, there is about 100 people right there. I just want them to leave me be. Let me do my job. You're doing your job, do it. Just like police officer, just like the firefighters, just like the doctors and the nurses. I am part of that. I am an essential service, believe it or not. I am providing people, I am saving lives. When people come to me and they want to commit suicide, when they have no hope to keep going, they come to me and they pray with me and they confess their sins and they say, I can't go on anymore. Can you pray for me? Can you give me some words of hope? That's what I'm doing. And at the same time, I'm feeding the poor, because what good would it be for me as a clergyman, as a Christian, as a church, if someone comes to me and says, yeah, that's awesome. You're talking about love and hope, but I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We're down at Pastor Poloski's Feed the Hungry. And I learned something today. Little did I know that City Hall charged you to come down here on your own free time and your own free will as a charity. Yeah. Really, as a charity. So, shame on Mayor Nenshi. And I want to know, I posed this question earlier. I want to know, Mayor Nenshi, what part of this is criminal? What part of this is the wrongdoing on behalf of this man? Is it the fact that he's feeding the hungry, so is eating now the criminal offense? Or is it the fact that he's feeding the homeless? And it is an embarrassment for you that we have homeless in this province. So it's a good question. We look forward to hearing from Mayor Nenshi as to what the answer is going to be.
Not only that, I sent letters when the first time they came to shut me down at the beginning of the pandemic. I sent the letters to all the sitting cabinet members, to Premier Jason Kenney, to the Minister of Justice, Minister of Health, begging them to step in and help me. I mean, I'm not doing anything wrong. Please help me, because the city of Calgary is shutting me down, and I am essential services, so help me. Not one of them would even reply to talk to me.
So no MLAs?
No one.
Have you reached out to your MP here as well?
I reached to all of them, no reply. It looks like no one cares about the poor. And I'm telling you, the poor are getting poorer and the rich are getting richer, because those people are not giving up their salaries. They say to us, we're in this together, but we are not, because I have to live on a $900 every 2 weeks charity from the federal government, but they got their $20,000 salaries plus $150,000 visas to go to any restaurant they want and spend it. Not one politician in this country said, you know what, I am in this together with the rest of you, I'm giving up my salary, just like you had to give up your businesses, that you had to give up your, your income. I'm going to follow the same steps, because we are truly in this together. Not one. Why? Because we are not in this together. This is by design to destroy small businesses. This is by design to eliminate the middle class. This is to bring us to a poverty level. They want everyone to be poor and them rich. I mean, that's what it is. If you really look at what is going on in this country, they want us to be poor. Because when you're poor, you cannot resist, you cannot hire lawyers, you cannot fight. Like, if they give me $250,000 ticket, I need an army of lawyers. Who can afford to fight with those devils? They got 100 lawyers at their disposal, and we pay for it. I mean, is that not ridiculous? We pay them to destroy us. That's insanity that has to stop. There is zero accountability with the politicians this day. You elect them because they promise something. They are elected, they get that stupid, stinky chair, and they don't care about you anymore. And they don't fulfill the promises. There should be some kind of a recall. You promised, you're not delivering, out of the office. We'll get someone that will deliver.
It's good advice.
Yeah.
Good advice. Well, thank you for your time. We're here to support you.
Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.
I had to bump it from tonight because we're not going to get back in time. But we have a very special event roundtable. I've got the attorney for Stand Up Canada Solutions and Paula Tucci from Stand Up Canada Solutions coming on with Cullen McDonald and Dan Ico from Stand for Thee. Okay. And so we're going to do a special event, probably run 2 hours. They're going to break down the stuff that they have written for We the People to go into the courts for small businesses, documentations that they can file to beat this crap. All these fines are based on bylaws, and bylaws are only applicable to employees of that particular corporation. So the City of Toronto has its bylaws. They're applicable to their employees and nobody else. That is court precedents was set in court. First time it was done, it was in 1910. Second time was used that case in the 1990s, so it's still active today. That's it, proof that the bylaw doesn't apply to you. Anyways, the girls and the boys have put together these wonderful documents to help people, and for all the provinces, not just Ontario, but for all the provinces. And so we're having this special event roundtable tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can watch it at 6, and we're going to delve into the nitty-gritty of how these documents work.
Send us a link to that, and we'll put it up on the video.
Yeah.
If we can get the video out in time.
I have a lot of fun, though. The people I work with, they're all heroes in my eyes. You yourself, your husband, all of us that come out to do this, we're all heroes. And we should remember that, because history will show we were the winners. And those that stayed locked in their houses and wore their masks will be the losers, and that's sad. And there's nothing you can do. You have a right to wear the mask the same way I have a right not to wear the mask.
You bet. I totally agree with that statement.
And it's not about the mask, it's about the Great Reset, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it's really about. That's what they're not telling you. And if you remember yesterday, I pulled the curtain back only for 5 minutes and explained to We the People what's really this is about. I'm not going to go into that today. They could go check the video from yesterday.
That's it, everyone. Thanks again.